I have to put these things on. All right. Now, as far as I know, there are no guests today, so I'm going to screen share. Okay. I'm going to let this do its thing because I might be showing you this later. I made a very important change on the website. Now, I'm going to start with this slideshow. I went to these earlier to ensure that they were working. I went to everything today after last week's technical difficulties. All right, let's see. We'll start from here. Welcome to Karen Ryce's Raising Happy Kids Zoom show. Intro to creating peace and harmony with the one rule. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the one rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You found agreement. You found harmony. Knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. The one rule, start strong. You have decided that you really want harmony with your child. That sounds so good, right? Everyone feeling good and getting along. You've decided that you do not want to make your child do what they do not want to do, and you do not want to do what you do not want to do, and you are going to make this work. You've decided that you want to use the one rule to make this happen. This is going to become your new habit. You remember that when you use the one rule, you're sharing the following messages with your kids. I want us all to be happy. We are each important. Together we can solve our problems. I believe in you. I love you. To create this new habit, you're going to start with yourself and what you want. You decide that you're going to let how you feel about a situation determine whether you agree with it or not. If it feels good, then you can agree with it. If not, you cannot. Think about a situation. Ask yourself, is this situation okay with me just as it is? If yes, your work on that is done. If no, what would have to change, be different so that I could feel good about it? Maybe several versions of the situation would feel fine with you. maybe only one. This exercise, this practice, helps you make a habit of following the one rule. No matter what age your kids are, this exercise helps ensure a strong start and makes following the one rule so much easier. Here is an understanding that might make following the one rule even easier. Recently, I asked myself a question. What do I want people to feel when they're connecting with my work? I definitely want them to feel good about themselves. Then the following answer appeared, to my surprise and delight. I want people to realize that they are already using the one rule. That understanding surprised me, and as more and more of it was revealed to me, it delighted me. Of course, people are already using the one rule. I am not teaching them anything they don't know. I'm not teaching them anything strange to them. I'm just helping them expand their use of something they use daily without thinking about it. They use it. You use it. Every time you come to a decision inside of yourself, you are using the one rule. Most likely you had to consider several options or possibilities to reach that decision, even if it just took you a few seconds for you to agree with yourself. That is what I want. That is what I'll do. You also use the one rule whenever you agree with someone else. Together, you come to a decision, an agreement. Yes, tomorrow I'll go to the auto parts store before I go grocery shopping. Even with your kids, you're using the one rule. You're coming to agreements. Think about it. Of course you are. You're just not thinking of it as a rule, as something required. So at times you are not coming to agreement. I'm here to help you think of coming to agreement as required, as a rule, as the one rule. You just expand the situations where you come to agreement until coming to agreement is just what you do and your kids do. It is the rule you and your kids follow. When you use the one rule, you are creating harmony. Your kids are creating harmony. You're becoming used to creating harmony, familiar with how good it feels to everyone involved. One point to be clear on is that even if a situation seems complicated and it seems that it is impossible to find a solution that everyone involved can feel good about, it is still possible. An important thing to remember is that there is a way for things to work so that everyone involved gets to feel good. Keep that in mind. This has been my experience whenever I have made this effort. A clear, helpful way to introduce using the one rule to your kids actually originates from the first time the children introduced me to what is now the one rule. You can do what I did. So they could understand what we were doing, I told the two little girls 3 things. 1, you are each important. Point to each person involved. You are important and you are important. And if it's your problem too, I am important. 2, you or we each deserve to feel good. 3, we can use the one rule to find a solution that feels good to each of you or us. Then tell them what the one rule is. When you actually start working with your kids using the one rule, helping them follow their interests is one of the easiest ways for you to start. That makes sense, right? It is also one of the most beneficial things you can do for your kids. Why is it good for your kids to do what interests them? One primary reason is that their interest is a key to helping them become the best versions of themselves that they can become. I'm going to get some water. When we do what interests us, we are very engaged and focused. Think about doing something that interests you. When we are engaged and focused, what we do and produce tends to be of much better quality than if we were not interested. Interest helps result in excellence. An even more important result of being engaged and focused is that our whole being is involved in what interests us. That is why we are engaged and focused. We are experiencing harmony, inner harmony. That is a good reason to allow and encourage our kids to do what they're interested in doing. I have observed children doing what really interests them, and they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. It doesn't mean that everything that interests our kids is going to always interest them. They may be interested for their lifetime, or even for 10 years, or only 10 days or 10 minutes. The point is that they are following their interests, not the specific thing or experience that interests them, or the length of time it interests them. So if they ask for your help, please help your kids follow their interests. If for any reason you really do not want to do what they're asking you to do, that is a perfect time to use the one rule. Another reason for helping your kids follow their interests is one that is taking care of you too. When they are eager to do something, instead of resisting doing it, you do not have to encourage them to do it or insist that they do it, let alone force them to do it. Think of how much of your time and energy could be available for you to use as you wish. Helping them follow their interests is actually the one rule in action, taking care of you and your kids. I'm glad you're here. Okay. I think we can just go on to the next one. I am going to share I think I'm going to, yes, I'm going to share a few of the a few of the guardian stories. The first one is the bully and the guardians. But before we do that, I do want to show you what I did on the website. This is the main website now. The other one, the happykidsco.com, is archived. You can access it. You can do whatever on it. I just can't do anything with it. So it's the way it is. Okay. Let's see. All right, this is what I did. That little video that I just shared with you, it's a standalone video, and that is now the free gift. Instead of the mini ebook that I had, which it's like 16 pages and kind of has the essence of what I share about the one rule and harmony and peace with kids. So that's what, until about a day ago, that's what you could get. Now that you can get that still, if you become a member, which is only $1.99 a month, so not a big deal for most people, and even in the world, especially in this country. And you can get it if you take the latest training that has not quite launched, but will shortly, very shortly. Okay, I wanted to share that with you. Now we'll go on to the bully and the guardians. This was an earlier version of this. I'm going to read through this. I'm not sure I didn't check these out. So, okay, during the first part of this 1-hour show, I share tips and strategies that create harmony with kids. Then we open things up for Q&A and discussion. In those days, I had guests every time. So, okay, we just did that. So, when you follow, this is a slight different version. So when you follow this rule, it's the one rule, of course, you find harmony. You discover what needs to shift so that everyone involved feels good about the situation. It has never failed me when I have used it. Even though I had not isolated it and named it, it was very much a part of raising my children and working with students as a Montessori teacher in our Montessori school, as well as with students in public schools. The story I'm about to tell you is just an example of the one rule at work in the lives of these characters. If different things were important to them, if they were in different circumstances, the one rule would still help them find harmony. That is one of the things I like so much about the one rule. It's adaptable for everyone and what they want. The bully and the guardians. Timmy was walking to school. He was going the long way, so he would not meet Jeff. Jeff would always say things that frightened him. Jeff called him names and threatened to beat him up. He was glad that Jeff wasn't in his class. Jeff was older. Timmy was also glad that they didn't have recess and lunch together, but there was after school to deal with. He wished his mom could take him to school, like lots of the other kids. Their moms and dads took them to school, but his mom was a waitress and had to be at work before he left for school. He didn't know his dad. He got his own breakfast, got ready for school, and left extra early so he could walk the long way to school. He and his mom were new in town, so they didn't know many people. He wasn't very good at meeting kids. He was quiet and used to keeping to himself. He was in the second grade, but he was small for his age. When he was just a few blocks from school, he heard a couple of girls behind him. They were talking and laughing. One of the girls said, "Hi." "Hi," said Timmy. "I'm Pam, and this is Jenny. What's your name? You're new here, aren't you? Where do you live? I haven't seen you walking to school before." These girls were older. They looked like they were in the 5th or 6th grade. "I'm Timmy. I am new, and I don't usually walk this way. I'm going a different way today. I just don't want to meet a boy named Jeff. He's been mean to me." Timmy felt safe with these girls. He felt comfortable to talk with them. "I think I know who you mean. He's in the 4th grade. He's a bully. He likes to pick on younger kids," said Jenny. "Oh, yeah, I know who he is," said Pam. "I've heard about him picking on little kids for a while. We should do something about that." "Yeah, we should. I wonder what we could do," said Jenny. "Do you want to walk with us, Timmy?" asked Pam. "Sure, thanks," said Timmy. "We'll be your guardians," said Jenny. "Great name, Jen," said Pam. "I sure feel better having guardians," said Timmy. "Hey, maybe we could start a club, the Guardians, and we could help protect little kids from bullies," said Pam. "Awesome idea, Pam," said Jenny. "Let's do it. I'm sure some of the other kids would like to join. Let's see if we can talk with some of them before class." When they got to school, before Timmy went to line up, "Thanks, Pam and Jenny. It was fun walking to school with you," he said. "We should thank you, Timmy. Thanks to you, we have an idea for a great new club," said Jenny. "Maybe we could have vests or scarves or caps that say Guardian on them." "Another great idea, Jen. Do you want us to walk you home after school, Timmy?" asked Pam. "Sure," said Timmy. "You're in Miss Jensen's class, right?" asked Pam. "Yes," said Timmy. "We'll pick you up there. Just wait for us. Tell her we're picking you up. She's nice. She'll let you wait for us. We'll be there as quick as we can," said Pam. After school, the girls walked Timmy home. Two of their friends joined them, a girl named Lacey and a boy named Ken. All the way they were talking about the Guardians. This day they took Timmy's long way, but they were talking about taking his short way tomorrow. They all agreed that if they were all together, there would be no trouble from Jeff. They were right. They saw him, but he didn't come near them. At the end of the week, when they got to Timmy's house, Timmy's mom was on the porch. She invited the kids for a snack. "Hi, kids. You can call me Kathy." "Hi, Kathy. I'm Pam. This is Jenny, Lacey, and Ken," said Pam. She said that Timmy had told her all about them helping him and about the Guardians. She wanted to thank them for helping Timmy when she couldn't, and she wanted to share an idea with them to see what they thought about it. While they were having their snack, she explained that she'd been taking a class online, learning how adults and kids can get along better, and even how kids and kids can get along better. It is called The One Rule. It was simple to learn, and she was thinking that it might help them as guardians. "It's fun, too," she said. "How does it go?" asked Pam. "In the class, we have partners we work with, and then we perform for the group. Let me tell you how we do it. What's the rule? Asked Jenny. Oh, the one rule is agreement. That's how we solve problems. We decide on something we both like and we agree to solve it this way. Then we act it out for the whole group. That sounds fun and easy, said Jenny. Yeah, let's try it, said Pam. Lacey, Ken, you guys want to try it, right? Sure, said Lacey and Ken. What do we do? Asked Lacey. First, you choose partners just for the first solution. You can switch partners later if you want to. Then you decide on a problem you want to solve. Everyone can work on the same problem, or each group can choose their own problem. Just remember, you have to solve the problem by figuring out something you agree on because you both like it, explained Kathy. Let's think about solving something about bullies, said Lacey. Yeah, that's what the Guardians are all about, said Jenny. Timmy, do you want to be my partner? Asked his mom. I just want to watch, said Timmy. Okay, this time we'll just watch. After about 10 minutes, both groups were back. So who wants to go first? Asked Kathy. We'll go first, said Pam. Okay, first tell us what the problem is you're solving. Then show us how the solution works, said Kathy. We decided to solve a problem of bullying during lunch. Sometimes we see kids taking balls away from younger kids. Here's what we came up with, said Pam. She explained that the guardians would help hand out the equipment at lunch. If someone did not get something to play with, here's what the guardians would do. Pam played the kid that did not get a ball. Since all the balls are taken, what can I help you with that you would like to do? Asked Guardian Jenny. Man, I really wanted a basketball. There are 6 groups playing with basketballs. You could join one of those groups. I wanted to play by myself. I'll go with you and see if you can join one of the groups if you'd like me to. I know all those kids. They won't want me to play with them. Oh, look, Carl is playing by himself now. Shall we go see if he'd like to play with you? I don't know. Do you want me to go ask him? I guess. Okay, wait here. I'll be right back. Carl says yes. Let's go. I'll introduce you. Then Pam and Jenny bowed, signaling the end of their play. Everyone clapped. That was great. Yeah, that should solve a lot of problems at lunch. It makes everyone feel cared about. What a great solution. That could solve the problem of bullying. People who feel cared about don't bully other people, said Kathy. We're next, said Ken. We're not going to tell you the problem. You'll know it when we do our play. I am Guardian Ken. I walk up to someone on the way to school. Hi, Jeff. I'm Ken. Can I walk with you for a while? Mom, whispered Timmy. They chose my problem. Yes, they did, whispered his mom. Why? Asked Lacey, who was playing Jeff. I want to invite you to join our club. Why do you want to invite me? I think you'd be a great member. I think you'd fit in great in this club, and that the club would be lucky to have you join. What's the club? It's called the Guardians. And we especially help kids who are being bullied by other kids. I figured since you're big and strong, that you'd make a great guardian. What do I have to do? Well, we just started the club, and right now we're helping kids go to school and home safely and helping kids be safe from bullies at school. We get together after school and practice ideas to help kids be safe. Want to join? I'll think about it. I hope you decide to do it. I think you'd be a perfect guardian. Okay, I'll do it. At least I'll try it out. Great. Let's meet where they hand out the balls at lunch. Do you mind if I walk with you to school today, Guardian Jeff? They took their bow and everyone clapped. I want to be a guardian for kindergartners, said Timmy. Great idea, Guardian Timmy, said Pam. You kids have convinced me. I'm checking out being able to earn a living doing this work with the one rule. Now I'm convinced I've got to do this. You want to come over and do this regularly? They all agreed. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Timmy. See you next week. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do them in the order that I kind of set this up last night, even though it's not the order that the stories were written. Okay, here we go. The Guardians, harmony with adults. Okay, here's the starting. The story I'm about to tell you is a slightly different approach to finding harmony than I usually focus on. Today, the focus is on kids finding harmony with adults. We also look at a different aspect of the one rule. The one rule still helps them find harmony. Kathy, my mom wants me to come to the next Parent-Teacher-Student Association meeting and tell them about the idea for the fundraiser. She thinks it's a great idea, but wants me to explain it to everyone. I'm feeling very nervous. I'm not used to talking with groups of adults, said Jenny. You'll do great, Jen, said Pam. The girls had stopped by to talk with Kathy. She was their one rule coach, after all. And since she was an adult, they figured she'd have some helpful ideas, so Jenny could feel confident sharing the fundraiser idea with all those adults. Oh, yeah, there was an earlier story, and that's where the fundraiser idea came. Okay. Jenny's mom said there'd be at least 15 people, including parents and teachers. I'm especially worried about talking to teachers. I've been pretty lucky and had friendly teachers, but they're not all like that. I hope there are only friendly teachers and parents at the meeting, said Jenny. They were all sitting on the porch, Kathy, Timmy, Jenny, and Pam. This was not a regular meeting day when all the guardians would be there. Pam and Jenny were just walking Timmy home. They hoped it would be a good time to talk with Kathy. It was. Well, I certainly understand what you're talking about, Jenny. I sometimes have to deal with very rude people in the restaurant. I always remember the one rule, said Kathy. The one rule, said Pam. What does the one rule have to do with talking with rude adults? They are not going to even try to be agreeable. You might be right about that, but there is something you don't know about the one rule and about rude adults. I've never explained how we learn to use the one rule with 2-year-olds, said Kathy. 2-year-olds, interrupted Pam. I don't get it. What do they have to do with grumpy adults? I'll explain, said Kathy, because they actually have a lot to do with each other. When we are using the one rule with 2-year-olds, we have to do most of the work. We have to try to agree with the 2-year-old, and if we can't, we have to help them choose something we can agree with before the 2-year-old is determined to get or do something we don't like. Rude adults are kind of like 2-year-olds. We have to do most of the work, trying to agree with what they want. Just like 2-year-olds, they don't know how to even want to find agreement. We are the examples of the one rule in action to both of those groups, 2-year-olds and grumpy adults. I do get it, exclaimed Pam. They get to see how good it feels to have someone see their side of things and consider what they want is important. Oh, I get it. I get it too. I can just think of any grumpy adult as a 2-year-old who doesn't know any better and be an example of a caring person to them, said Jenny. Yes, said Kathy. And the other thing is that probably when these adults were small, people did not treat them kindly, and that's why they developed the habit of being rude or whatever. Maybe using the one rule this way might help them feel better about life and other people. At least that's what's in my mind. When is your meeting, Jenny? I think it's next Tuesday. I think it's next Thursday. At least that's what my mom thinks. She's going to find out for sure. Well, at our next guardians meeting, let's act out talking with adults, said Kathy. I was thinking the same thing, said Pam. Me too, said Jenny. We'll do it, said Kathy. I'll explain to everyone what I explained to you, and then we'll do our practice. It feels like building a bridge between people. It feels expansive. It's what Ken did when he reached out to Jeff and invited him to be a guardian, said Pam. Yes, said Jenny, and that has worked out great. I feel better already, and I'm sure I'll feel great by the time of the meeting. I'm sure you will, Jenny, said Kathy. You're an awesome coach, Kathy, said Pam. Well, we better go. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Timmy. A few days later, the guardians were all gathered at Kathy's and Timmy's. Jenny told them about her upcoming meeting with the PTSA. Everyone was very excited about this. Pam explained how they decided to talk with Kathy about creating harmony with adults, even rude, grumpy adults. Everyone agreed that that was a problem sometimes. Then Kathy explained what she had told Jenny and Pam and Timmy about using the one rule with 2-year-olds and rude adults. She also explained that they had decided that if everyone felt good about it, this day they would practice finding harmonious solutions when dealing with adults. She said she'd been thinking about this since they met a few days ago. She knows that we can all understand that adults who are not feeling happy and friendly are feeling bad inside of themselves. Some of these adults have been feeling bad for a long time. That's why they're rude or mean. Right, said Jeff. Everyone knew he spoke from experience. People who feel good inside, people who are happy, don't want to hurt other people in any way, said Kathy. So maybe we can be a bit of goodness in their lives. If they come into our lives, it could make a good difference in their lives, maybe even a good big difference. The one rule can help us do that. So let's do it. Let's do this. Yes, shouted all the guardians. Then they partnered up and went to create their demos. Okay, guardians, who goes first? Asked Pam. I want to go first, said Jenny, since this is all because of me. Jeff is my partner. Maybe your need started this, but we all need it, said Kathy, even me. Our problem is a grumpy father who doesn't like the idea of the one rule for a fundraising event. He thinks they should have a carnival. Here's what we came up with. No way, we always have a carnival. Everyone loves it. I love the carnival too, said Jenny. Everyone has fun there. Going to try their luck at the different booths and eating all the delicious carnival food. We have to have a carnival, but I think we can have both. You're a crazy little girl. Do you know how much work is involved in having a carnival? No way can we do both. I know it takes a lot, lots of people, lots of work to do the carnival. This won't take very much work. We have the place. We can do it here at the school. There's almost no setup involved. Lots of the kids are interested, even some of the teachers and parents. It doesn't sound good to me. I understand that, but think of how much money we can raise with just a little work. Every student who participates is going to have their whole family come to see them, and friends and neighbors. All those people will buy tickets and goodies during intermission. We'll make a fortune. Kids love to act, to be on stage. They will only need one day to learn how to do this and to perform at night. We could even do a few of these, inviting kids and families from all over town. Kids from other schools are already like the idea of the Guardians. Well, the Guardians is a good group of kids. I guess that's a good idea. You're right about making lots of money. Maybe we can use some of that for the carnival. Yes, that is a great idea. Then Jenny and Jeff took a bow and everyone clapped and hooted. Wow, said Kathy. Awesome use of the one rule for 2-year-olds. We'll have to think of a name for that version of the one rule. We want to go next, said Timmy, Elaine and I. Elaine is Jeff's younger sister and in the same class with Timmy. Here's our problem. Well, my problem. Talking with a mean, bossy teacher during lunch. Here's what we came up with. Elaine is the teacher. Timmy, get over here and sit down. You know you're not supposed to sit on that wall. Oh, Mrs. Jones, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Don't you lie to me, young man. No one is supposed to sit on that wall. I don't lie, Mrs. Jones. I just never sat on the wall before and it looked like fun. I'm sorry to have bothered you by doing that. Fun? Jeremy fell off that wall and cracked his head open. He was my student, and can you imagine? They blamed me for that. His mother, his father, his whole family. They've never stopped blaming me for that, so no one sits on that wall ever. I don't ever want to catch you on that wall again. Do you hear me? Yes, Mrs. Jones. I won't ever sit on that wall again. I'm glad you explained how dangerous it can be. Well, yes, I'm glad you understand. You can go and play now. I'm sorry I yelled at you. You go play. Timmy and Elaine took their bow. Everyone clapped and hooted. Great demo, you two. She sure is mean. You were great with her, Timmy. I don't think I'll ever be afraid of her again, said Timmy. Me either, said Elaine. You both did a fantastic job, said Kathy. Come here, Timmy. She gave her son a big hug. I loved seeing how strong and wise you are. It's not easy to deal with such really rude and even mean people. I'm so glad that all of you are understanding how to use the one rule with grumpy adults. I'm glad you're not grumpy, Mom, said Timmy. Me too, said Kathy. Who next? I want to go next, said Ken. I have some good news, and because of that, I want to do something different. I want all of you who want to be my partners in this next demo. As you all know, I'm very involved in scouting. Well, I'm invited to speak at a scouting conference. I've been thinking that I'd like to suggest a new badge, the one rule. Wow, Ken. So I want to practice my presentation. This is just going to be the first time. I'll probably want to practice it lots of times. After everyone was settled, I have been invited here to present an idea for a new badge. Even Cub Scouts could start earning this badge. It could go all the way to Eagle Scouts. I learned about it by joining a club called the Guardians. We help keep kids from being bullied and from becoming bullies. I want to propose that we have scout badges for the one rule. Then Ken bowed. That's as far as I can go today. Everyone clapped and shouted. Great work, Ken. You go, Ken, our hero. Awesome, Ken, said Kathy. We'll definitely all work on this. You're going to give a stellar proposal. Awesome idea. Guardians, I am so proud of all of you. On with the show. Who's next? Thanks for being here. Okay, let's see. I think we'll have time for this. Next one. I was looking at the table of contents for my column book. That was for about a year. I had a newspaper column, weekly column, just like this weekly show. And the first thing that caught my eye was a column on sibling rivalry. So let's start here. Let's just start this. Okay. I read that earlier. Okay. The Guardians were having their first online meeting after their fundraising event with the PTSA, the Parent Teacher Student Association. There were too many new Guardians to meet at Kathy and Timmy's. Besides, they were all very busy. After the event, Kathy started giving classes online and in person for kids and parents. She was even going to be giving them to teachers and other staff at Timmy's school. And now she was getting requests from parents and teachers in other locations, even other towns, other states, and another country. The guardians were her support staff. They coached kids who wanted more practice than they got in Kathy's weekly classes. Guardian Mitch was one of the first to speak up. I want some help. Could we focus on getting along with brothers and sisters today? Sure, said Pam. Does that sound good to everyone? Everyone agreed. So what's up, Mitch? Asked Jeff. Well, it feels kind of strange and embarrassing, but it's my family. Ever since I joined the Guardians, I've been having trouble with my big brother and sister. What kind of trouble, Mitch? Asked Jen. My brother's always saying that now I think I'm such a big shot. They both call me superhero. They say, ooh, here comes the superhero. It hurts my feelings. Let's break into working partners and see what we come up with, said Pam. Pam had sort of become the leader of the Guardians. It worked for her and everyone else, too. She easily and naturally took the leader's position. Everyone was glad she did this. Having someone do this helped things go smoothly. Some more water. Each team went into a private online space where they could figure out their demo. When they were done, they went back to the main online meeting space. After they were all back in the main meeting area, Pam asked, who would like to go first? We would, said Jeff and Elaine together. Of course, they are brother and sister. Okay, said Jeff, I'm the narrator, so I'll explain what we did. Then we'll do the demo, the demonstration. We decided that Elaine would be the one whose feelings got hurt. Okay, here's our demo. It really hurts my feelings when you call me a superhero. I wish you wouldn't do that. You are a superhero, aren't you? I mean, now that you're a guardian, doesn't that make you a superhero? No, I'm just a helper, and the way you say it is what hurts my feelings. It makes me feel like you think it's a bad thing for me to do. Does it matter what I think? I guess it does. Well, I really do think you are a superhero. I was really surprised when I heard that you were a guardian. Maybe it's the way Mom told me about you joining. She said she thought I should do that too. And why didn't I join? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. You could join if you want to. I don't want to. That's the problem. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough because I don't want to help like you do. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I've learned during our coaching sessions that it's important to do what we want to do, no matter what other people think. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you too for being in the Guardians. I just don't want to. Then it's good you're not. You might like to join the coaching for kids that don't want to be in the Guardians. What's that about? Well, we've learned something called the one rule. It helps us solve problems fast so that everyone feels good. Like we just did? Exactly like we just did. I think I'll check it out. Is it hard to learn? No, it's super easy. Do you want to do this on your own, or would you like a guardian to help you? I'll take the guardian's help. I still want to call you a superhero. That's okay now. It will make me feel good now. I just thought maybe we do have a superpower. I think the one rule is our superpower. Now you'll have that superpower too. That's our demo, said Jeff. Great, said Pam. Next. I'll go next, said Lacey. The rest of you are in the family meeting, so I figured out one on my own. Okay, said Pam. This is the first thing I thought when I heard your situation, Mitch. This is just going to be me playing you and working things out in myself. I made some notes so I don't forget. I wish I didn't get so upset when my brother and sister tease me. I wonder why it hurts my feelings. I just remembered something. It was something new we learned at our last session with Kathy. What was it? How did it go? Oh, yeah, it's not up to other people to make my life better. It's up to me. If I want to have things go better, I need to have better self-talk. Instead of getting upset when they call me a superhero, I could ignore them, or I could say, thanks. I could actually feel good that they're calling me a superhero. I kind of am. I help kids every day. I help kids stay safe, and with the one rule, I help them feel good about themselves and their life. Oh, yeah, Kathy also said for us to think mostly about things that make us feel good when we think them. I'm going to do that starting now. And when anyone says I'm a superhero, I'm going to feel glad and maybe even thank them. That's my demo, said Lacey. Awesome, Lacey, said Pam. Now we'll do the family meeting demo. I'm the mom, John is the dad, Jen, Ken, and Timmy are the kids. So what's this family meeting thing about? Asked Dad. It's something I learned about in the Guardians. Guardians, Guardians, Guardians. Stop it, kids, shouted Mom. Go on, Mitch. Well, that's what this meeting is about. I'm tired of being teased for being in the Guardians. Guard, stop that. So what do you want to do about this? Asked Dad. I want to have a one rule session, all of us. What's a one rule session? Asked Mom. This is what I do with kids every day. I help them find a solution that they all like. Then they agree on that solution. So what solution would you like? I'd like them to stop teasing me. Now what? We decide if we all like that solution. If we agree that that is a solution we all like, then we agree that that is the solution we want, and then we're done. This is dumb. That's enough of that. What solution would you like then? I just want to keep teasing you, superhero Big Shot. You're going to be in big trouble after we're done here. You always take his side. I'm always the one that gets in trouble. He never gets in trouble. It's what you do that gets you in trouble, young man. Don't go blaming your brother. Let's at least see if we can find a solution we can all agree on. The kids at school do it every day. Okay. It is time to stop here and end this show. Okay, I hope you all have a great week and use the one rule to find agreement and help all the people. Okay, let's stop the recording. See you next week. I'm going to see about whether I've put this up as a story or not. If I haven't, I will do it. Otherwise, I do have them on my YouTube channel. Karen Rice.